What's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Crypto and Chill stream here at Sin City. My name is David. I'll be your host today. Man, sorry about Friday, guys. I was having internet issues when I got home from the studio, and I was like, all right, a couple times it went out. I was like, all right, whatever. I'll reset the router. It was working fine, and did it again, and then it happened right before I was going live. Long story short, it was a bad modem. I had to take it to Cox. They gave me a new one. And so tested it all morning last night when I hooked it up. It's been working fine, but you never know. It's funny. They were trying to sell me on an upgrade. They're like, you want to do the 2 gigabyte plan? I'm like, okay, how much does that cost? So an extra $30 a month. I was like, all right, that's not bad. It's pretty good. Double my speed. But you need to get this special router. And that is like $1,200. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm good with what I have. I have those like Eero systems. It's like they have those little hotspots, like it's 3 of them. One connects directly to essentially a router. So they separate the modem and the router. And so this one connects to the one hub connects as a router to the modem. And then the other 3, actually there's 3 of them, the little hotspots you can put anywhere in your house that kind of pick up the signal and give it more stable Wi-Fi signal. So I bought that a while ago for like $600. Like, I'm not getting rid of that. Either way, internet issues fixed. Now, if you guys are familiar, the Sunday show is pretty chill vibe. It's all about you guys, the community. Talk some crypto, talk some business, talk some personal. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I am here for you today. And so please, if there's any questions, anything you want to know about me, anything you don't want to know about me, you want my thoughts on something, nothing is off limits. Obviously, if there's an answer or question I choose not to answer, I'll do so. But feel free to ask whatever questions you want. But the title of the live is, what comes next? And I'm not trying to, we talk about it on the morning show all the time and what we think is going to happen. And I don't want to go down that whole rabbit hole again and kind of beat a dead horse. But even myself, I've been doing this a while. I constantly go back and reevaluate my portfolio, and I recommend all of you do the same. As prices are kind of choppy, we haven't had that euphoric run just yet. In my opinion, I still think it's coming. Now is really the time to evaluate your portfolio, figure out your risk tolerance, and ask yourself, if I have X amount of dollars in this coin, am I maximizing my potential ROI versus putting it in Bitcoin or putting it in Ethereum or putting it in Solana or any other coin, right? You got to be able to remove your emotions from your finances, because when you make financial decisions, when you're emotional, 9 out of 10 times you will make a wrong decision. I've been there. I'm sure a lot of you that are watching have been there. And so that would be my recommendation, is remove your emotions completely out of your financial making decisions. And just go based off of your thesis, what you're bullish on, and some numbers, some facts, right? Fundamentals, technicals, whatever you want to do. So that is what I've been doing. I constantly am doing that. I've cut positions, I've added positions, I've moved money around, and again, I do all of this during consolidation periods or boring times in the markets, because the last thing you want to do is to make these decisions. What am I going to ask? What am I going to add when the markets are hot? Because you're going to be euphoric. Can't help it. I get euphoric. Everyone gets euphoric when Bitcoin's running from 50 grand to 110,000. It's hard not to get euphoric, but that is when you don't want to make those decisions. That's why I have everything planned out before it happens. Before you buy, you say, okay, this is my strategy. This is what I plan on doing. This is how much I'm planning on selling at this point. I want to X ROI here, and then I'm cashing out 20%. You want to do all that before the markets start running hot. So Adam said, is that a haircut? Yes, it is, my friend. Shout out to all of you that are in here. Again, I should probably put something in the chat. This is a special community chill stream where we chat and you can ask me any personal or business questions. Okay. That way people are hopping in here. They're like, what is this? What? I thought this was Sin City Crypto. They're not talking about any crypto. Anyways, so there's a couple things I want to talk about. Typically you're not supposed to get political, but I really don't give a shit. I try to be as authentic with people as possible. So I'm going to get a little political today. Now, the only thing I ask is when we talk about politics, right? Even if someone doesn't agree with you, I think it's important to hear them out. It's important to be respectful. And if they choose to be some crazy psychotic left-winger or crazy psychotic right-winger, and you just don't feel like you can have a civil conversation, just walk away. Just really no point. There's no point in sitting there and saying, well, this guy is better than this guy, and this guy did this and this. If you can't have a civil conversation with someone about politics or executive orders or, policy decisions or whatever, you can't have a civil conversation at the end and be like, look, we just don't agree. I think this is the way to go. You think this is the way to go. Let's agree to disagree, walk away, and still do it in a respectful manner. That's awesome. But if you can't do that, then just walk away. But I saw a couple things here. So this was the first one, okay? So there's been this thing floating around where Trump wants to do a third term. I'm like, dude, okay, you want to do a third term, change the Constitution. And you're going to need a supermajority for that. I think it's like 67%, right? Of Congress has to vote, yes. But I don't like this whole idea of, hey, there's ways to do it. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not, like, I voted for Trump. I've most of my life been a conservative. I don't agree with everything on the right, and I don't agree with everything on the left, but I agree with more of what's on the right than I do with what's on the left. But I feel like there's so many people that are like me that we just need this two-party system is fucked. Like, we need a third party. I don't know what it is, a libertarian party or whatever it is, but take some good from the left, take some good from the right, and just be normal, just practical, right? And it's not practical to sit here and say, I'm going to find my way around the Constitution and serve a third term. I don't like that. And this is coming from someone who voted for Trump. So again, you want to do this, you want to serve a third term, put a bill on the floor or get your people in Congress to vote to change the Constitution, to put an amendment in that allows you to serve a third term. Because this whole, I'm going to finagle my way around the rules and, kind of contort, a vernacular and certain things, lawfully. And like, I don't like that, man. It's in the Constitution. These are the rules. Play by the damn rules, right? And then you cannot play by the rules and then point to the other side and say, look what these guys are doing. You can't be a hypocrite. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on this? And if you don't want to get political, you don't have to, but you guys, are you guys kind of on the same page I'm at? Do you agree that it shouldn't just be, hey, I think I can find a way to maneuver around this Constitution thing and serve a third term? I don't know. What are you guys thinking? That's kind of my thoughts. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. How's the family holding up? Said Poman. Poman, family's holding up really good. I'll get into I'll talk about family here in a second. I just kind of want to see what the chat is thinking on this Trump thing before I move on. Raul says he agrees. Yeah, I try not to be blinded or be put in an echo chamber with anything in life, right? Politics, whatever. But yeah, KKB said crypto market was better with Biden. If you look at it strictly from price, sure, but I disagree. I truly disagree. Obviously, you guys know that, I believe that if the tariff war and Trump didn't come in kind of, heavy-handed, so to say, which we knew he was going to come in with the whole tariff thing, but I was like, we saw this in 2018. The markets should be used to him by now. They should understand, but I was wrong. Markets are still overreacting. I think it's an overreaction. Now, you have other things such as we'll take Greenland by force if we have to. Also don't like that. Like, they're a sovereign country, right? They have elections. I know they're kind of under the rule of like the Kingdom of Denmark, but like, I don't know. There's certain things lately that I heard that I don't like. I also saw that he pardoned that guy from Nikola Motors, which I'm like, why? And I read that guy, I forget what his name was. His attorney is Pam Bondi's brother. So that stinks of some collusion there. And look, when Biden was in office, we pointed the finger, at least me, I pointed the finger and said, that's fucked up. You shouldn't do that. What are you doing? You're crazy. What are you doing? I'm going to do the same thing if Trump starts doing similar things to what Biden did. I like to stay fair. But again, going back to like, would I still have voted for Trump if I knew this? Yes, because I think the alternative was really, really bad. I could like Kamala and what the Democrats represent today is so different than what they represented back in the 2000s, like the 90s with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, I think, was a great president. He wasn't perfect, but he left with a budget surplus, I think the first time in decades. And then you had this as well, the whole there will be bombing if Iran doesn't make a nuclear deal. Well, I get a lot of his positioning, but this is all stuff that the markets don't like. They don't like uncertainty. That's why you're seeing gold. We can take a look at a gold chart. It's not a TA show, but by the way, speaking of TA shows, I'm going to introduce something new on the TA show. So I'm always looking to make it fun, more fun for you guys, more interactive. I'm all about engaging the community. So I'm going to introduce a segment called Scalp My Portfolio, where I'll ask the chat for their top 5 holdings in nominal dollar value. You don't got to say what the amount is. Just say, hey, my top 5 is Solana, Bitcoin, either. And then I'm going to pick one, and we're going to go through the 5 coins. I'm going to see if there's any scalping opportunities on the charts. So you can put in a long or a short order, and then you can take those profits and add more to your spot bag and increase that position. So something I'm going to introduce that tomorrow on the trading show. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know. Also, giving myself a little pat on the back here. We identified this this head and shoulders on the 21 minute that broke to the downside and failed that retest. And we actually put it in our Discord. And so if you're not part of our Discord, guys, highly recommend it. Even if you don't want to be part of this VVIP trading group, just join the Discord. A lot of communication happening there, but this is what we posted here, head and shoulders on the Bitcoin 21 minute. And then we did cash in a nice short as well. So if you're not on our Discord, go ahead and do so. But I wanted to look at gold. That's kind of where I was going. And I think I thought I had gold in here. Let's pull up gold. Okay. Gold has been on a tear. Has been on an absolute tear. Look at the daily. I mean, that's a pretty big move for gold, my friends. Gold does not move fast. And so here's another signal that the market's like, gold is moving. That's not a good sign for risk on assets or the economy. I mean, people are expecting turbulence. People are expecting, recession, war, whatever it is. Gold going up is not a signal of strength to the rest of the markets. So that is one thing to keep an eye on as well. But to the question of, crypto was better under Biden, if you just look at the money, the value of Bitcoin, like dollar wise, sure, we were grinding up and higher, but you can argue that it kind of fell in line with everything that was already happening. But I don't know. I still believe Trump and his administration are going to be way better for crypto long term. But I think the problem is, and I'm not picking on you, my friend, for saying that comment about it was better under Biden. The problem is people just have a very short-term time horizon for crypto. I started investing a majority of my wealth into crypto because I believe in what it could do for the financial industry. Of course, we speculate, we make money there too. But I really believe blockchain could solve a lot of problems a lot of people have, make things more affordable, cheaper for people, make it safer for people as well. We're just not there yet, but I think we're going to get there. And so part of my time horizon is a lot further out than a lot of people's. And of course, I want to make money in the meantime, but I got a separate bucket of my portfolio that sits in an IRA and sits in cold storage that I don't plan on touching for years, for maybe even a couple decades. Probably plan on passing some of that down to my kids, or using that money to help them start a business, or whatever I decided to do moving forward. So that's kind of my thoughts on the whole. Things were better under Biden. I think what we're seeing under Trump and his administration, I think they're serious about, not Trump specifically, but the people he's put in positions of power. They're serious about integrating blockchain into the everyday lives of Americans. And I think if you've been in the space longer than 4 or 5 years, you can see the value in that. It's obvious. All right. What do you guys want to talk about, man? Let me know. You guys have any questions about me? I know Poman asked about the family. It was a freaking soccer extravaganza yesterday. There was my 11-year-old had one game, my 12-year-old had 2 games, and my daughter had gymnastics practice. And then we're out in the sun all day, and it was super hot. I'm like, why is it so hot in March? My God. It was this hot in March. If this hot in March, I am not looking forward to what the fuck Vegas is going to be in July. My God, it gets so hot, literally. The dog will not go outside. Try to put those little shoes on him. He doesn't like it. So we create a little spot for him in the garage for him to go poop and pee so it doesn't burn his little paws. A1 said, there is corruption on both sides. I want what's best for my pocket, and Trump admin is better long-term than Trump. Crypto went up from 2016 to 2020. Yeah, and here's the thing too, guys. A1, thanks for that comment, my friend. Here's the thing you got to remember too, is the halving literally happens in election years. And we get the halving, or we get all-time highs, usually 7 months post-halving, 6 to 7 months post-halving. So part of it is kind of like, it's coded in a way, right? It's not like, oh my God, this guy came in. Now, the in-between from when they get elected to when they leave, then that's a different story. And from what we've seen so far, from just crypto, everything Trump has promised on the campaign trail, for the most part, he has done. Every person he has put up for nomination to get approved, confirmed by the Senate, they all have been pro-crypto. Treasury Secretary, Department of Homeland Security, HHS, FBI Director, Vice President, Secretary of Commerce, SEC Chair. I mean, what else do you guys want? These are all crypto and Bitcoin bulls. And these are the people that are some of the strongest, or some of the most powerful people in the entire world. So I don't know how that's bearish. I don't get it. If you just look at a chart in the price, sure. But guys, just expand a little bit, man. And it's not always about just what the price is now, but look at the future, man. If someone told you in 2008, and let me just pull up, or not 2008, 2002, let's pull up an Amazon chart here, okay? Because I think people forget that sometimes having conviction and having patience, there we go. Having patience is what makes people wealthy, man. I mean, look at this chart, okay? This is Amazon, okay? Amazon going back on the monthly, going back to 98, okay? Now remember, these are monthly candles. Amazon shoots up from 13 cents to a high of $5.74. That high happened in 99. Going into the technology age, the tech boom, the internet boom. And then Amazon fell to a low of 31 cents, a 95% drawdown in almost 2 years, okay? It didn't cross its previous high until 2009. Until 2009. So let's measure this, okay? 3,592 days from when it made its first high, when it first hit the stock market, till when it cleared that high. Now, the people that had the patience to sit through this and see the potential in what Amazon is doing and try to extrapolate, well, what kind of market share are they going to have? What kind of valuation is this company going to have? You would have gotten in at, even if you bought the top at $5. And remember, Amazon has had multiple stock splits, okay? That's why you saw the price go to like $3,000 something per share and down. You would have been a multi-millionaire. I think if you would have put like, $5,000 or $1,000, you'd be retired. You would have retired in like 2012. It's just people just don't have the patience. And so, I don't know. That's kind of the way I look at things is if you want life-changing money, it ain't going to happen overnight, bro. And the ones that happen overnight is usually scams or you just got ass lucky. And that's not practical. It's really not. Hey, guess who I am? I'm going to be the most pro crypto and send it to an all-time high, only to make my own token. Figured out, yeah, when you do, you know, this caused a crash. You know, EK, I don't like the token launch that he did. I think it was a bad look. Like, it was so shitty. And that marked the top of the meme coins. And it honestly probably marked the top of crypto, a local top for crypto, right? It's just like who was advising him to do that? Who said, hey, Mr. President, it's a really good idea. 2 days before you get inaugurated, launch your own meme coin and hold 80% of the token back. Such a bad look. And then you saw what Argentina did, the Central African Republic, or Central Africa Republic, CAR, I think it is. Such a bad look. And then what happens now? Look at what's happened because of that. The Hawk Tuah girl had her SEC case dropped. Richard Hart has had his SEC case dropped, I believe. And there's a few other ones. And I'm not saying Richard Hart, but like the Hawk Tuah girl, that was 100% a scam. They fucked people over and she just gets to walk away. Why? Because the president launched the meme coin and held back 80% of the tokens and sold some of those tokens. And so it was just not a good look, man. It really was not. I wish they wouldn't have done that. So yeah, I was not a fan of that at all. And so whoever gave him that piece of advice or direction, shame on you. And then to come in with the second one, Melania. Now, to be fair, I think the Trump and Melania, the two teams that launched them were different. It could have been something like, listen, babe, I'm launching a meme coin. It's going to be the Trump coin. It's going to be the best thing ever. And then she's like, well, fuck you. I will launch my own coin. And then she did her own coin. I don't know if that happened, but the teams were different. I think the guy who launched the Melania one also did the Libra one and the Hayden Chris, whatever his last name was. And I'm pretty sure he's on the Interpol list. He's wanted by Interpol. So, but either way, man, it was just not a good look at all. I wish he wouldn't have done that. Dude's turning. I mean, we kind of knew he was a grifter, like from like a business standpoint. He's trying to make money using his likeness to make money and profit. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, as long as you do it ethically, there was nothing wrong with that. If you spent 10 years of your life building up your brand and your image, if you can't monetize on that, then what the fuck is the point? Unless you're already a multimillionaire, which I guess Trump kind of was. His dad was a multimillionaire. I think he got a loan. But either way, yeah, not a fan of what he did. So EK, I agree. I didn't like that either. But again, what he's done so far, the people he's put in place, I'm super bullish. And I'm so happy I voted for the guy. People talk out of both sides of their mouths and are hypocrites. Every freaking one of you is a hypocrite. I don't know what's going on. Is there a fight in the chat? Yeah, probably with Crypto Peps. Anyways, what you guys feel, man? What you guys want to talk about? Amazon, out of 8 last week, 7 of them have been read. Yeah. When David Frost his tips sell. What? Frost my tips. Is that like getting bleach or whatever? Oh, Rob. Hey, Rob, what's up, man? Thoughts about Coinbase stock. One of my let's pull up a Coinbase stock ticker here on the chart. Now, one of my bold predictions, I think it was coming into this year, coming into last year, was that Coinbase would be included or added to the top 5 or the S&P 500, so the top 500 companies. I think Coinstock is a great. Now, obviously, if you're super exposed to crypto, it would fall into that category. But think about the amount of money Coinbase is going to make and is making. Obviously, the fees they charge. They have a membership program with Coinbase One, so that every month they're earning revenue. But the big one here is the fees they earn from base and also the fees they earn from custody. They are out of the 11 Bitcoin ETFs, they're the custodian for 8 or 9 of them. That is a lot of money, dude. We're talking what is the holdings of these ETFs? Let's take a look. Okay. So we got, this is BlackRock, $40 billion What fee do they pay to Coinbase on $40 billion? Fidelity, 11.5. Now, I think Fidelity actually does not use Coinbase. Correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. Coinbase Prime, I don't know. I don't think Fidelity uses them. Bitwise, pretty sure they use them. Or, I should probably look into this. But anyways, Coinbase, they do the custody services for a lot of these companies, a lot of these ETF issuers, and a lot of institutions as well, not just in ETFs. And so that all hits the top line revenue. So it's, to me, at $173 at the valuation it's currently at, to me, it's a no-brainer. But again, just know that if you already feel like you're overexposed to crypto, then maybe decrease some positions, something else, and add some Coinbase. But if you got a 401k, I think you should have Coinbase stock in your portfolio. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Actually, I was about to be a financial advisor. You guys know that? Did you guys know that I was about to get my Series 7 license, which is to be registered with FINRA, to be a registered financial advisor? So I could have been here, could have been saying, I am a financial advisor. This is financial advice, but in fact, I did not go through with it. The guy that was going to pay for it ended up being some weirdo. And he's like, well, I'm going to do this, but don't tell my business partner. I'm like, what? I'm like, why? He's like, because we'll talk about it later. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not hitching my license in the world of securities to you, who's already trying to do shady shit behind your business partner's back. I can't even imagine what your operations look like, and I don't want to get dragged into it. So I just didn't do that, and then I never went back to getting it. What's going on with Caspa? What is going on with Caspa? I know they got their crescendo coming up. Caspa is another one, guys. If you don't have the patience to sit and wait, then get rid of it. Get rid of it, man. If you don't get the patience to sit and wait on a $10,000 Caspa bag or a $5,000 Caspa bag, and you don't have patience to wait 4 or 5 years, and you're super bullish on it, then sell it. Get something else. Get a meme coin, or try to time a pump. Very hard to do that. But that's the thing. Like, you look at Cardano, you look at Caspa, these things, these projects, these no VCs, and everyone wants to tout this as a good thing. No VC, fair launch, great. Just know that things move a lot slower. The fire's been lit, but the VC money is the gasoline that makes that fire grow faster, right? It's the Santa Ana winds. I'm not trying to make light of that situation. I actually had a couple of friends of mine that lost their homes out there, but it's the gasoline for the fire to go. And if you don't have that, then it's just going to have to naturally evolve and grow. And that takes time. And so what Caspa's looking to do, it's going to take some time. What Cardano's looking to do, it's been taking time. So as long as they continue to build and continue to go through their roadmap, and what their utility and what they sold you on is still relevant now and 2 years from now, then bro, hold it and you'll make money. Yeah, crypto is total ass right now. Getting tired of even looking up news. Bruh, try doing a fucking live show 7 days a week. Try doing a live show 7 days a week when crypto is sideways and there's really no news to talk about. It's all bullshit news, paid articles on Cointelegraph, stupid ass price predictions from fucking AI bots. Try doing a show 7 days a week when crypto is ass. As far as like news and things happening, try it. It's not, it takes a lot of I don't know, man. It takes a lot of coffee. And so we like to keep things light, man. We like to keep things fun. We like to keep people in the know, kind of bring a unique perspective and view on things. That's why we like to bring other guests on the show, so you guys aren't in some kind of echo chamber. And so, yeah, I mean, thanks for the comment though, man. Triple Q and S&P are going down. Bitcoin and crypto on a fall as we speak. Economic data is horrendous. Unfortunately, more red candles. Alexander, I agree. And this has been my kind of base case. I've said one more flush out to like 71K, and then we go up. I've said that, and I don't think this is over. I really don't. There's too much uncertainty, and it's like every day Trump just adds a new thing to it. We're gonna bomb Iran. I'm pissed off with Putin. We're going to put 50% tariffs on all oil coming out of Russia. You guys know that Russia is one of the top oil producers in the world, right? And so these are all things that's got Wall Street running from the stock market and into gold, running from the stock market and into bonds, into silver, into commodities, hard precious metals. But unfortunately, Bitcoin right now is not viewed on Wall Street as a majority as a gold, a hedge against government, a hedge. We understand that, but maybe we're ahead. These guys right now, they just look at it as another risk on asset. So, holy shit, what is going on? Oh God, okay. Man, my Telegram is blowing up right now. I'll get to that later. So yeah, I've now forgot where I was at. Yeah, so the markets don't like uncertainty. And so I think this thing is not going anywhere yet. April 2nd is the day those tariffs go into play, and which is, what is that, on Wednesday? That's Wednesday. Expect some volatility leading into Wednesday. I'd be careful with trades, specifically high leverage trades. Just be careful because any one slight news, hey, we reached an agreement, no tariffs, markets are going to pump. If you're in a short, you're going to get squeezed. You know what? Screw these guys. We're not doing reciprocal tariffs. We're adding an extra 10% on whatever, Canada or Mexico, whatever country's going after. And you're in the long, you're going to get liquidated in 2 minutes. And so just be careful on the leverage, set tight stop losses. And that's the way I would play it. Now, of course, you could try to put in a position both ways. And again, super tight stop loss. And this is what I loved about options is you got different strategies you can use that allows you to do that in one go versus having two separate ones. And so you can make money when the markets are choppy. So maybe that'll come to crypto. I hope it will. Ramses said, Dave, should I swap Atom and Dot? If so, what do you think I should put it into? That's a question that is hard to answer without any, and I'm pulling up. So we said Atom and Polkadot, right? So there's Polkadot. Let's pull up Atom. That's a hard question to answer without any context. Like, are you in the green? Are you in the red? What's the rest of your portfolio looking like? If I were to dump one of them, I would dump Polkadot. What should you put it into? I mean, again, it depends. Like, are you taking an L? Are you taking a W? Did you get it at like $1 and you want to sell it and you 3X? Or did you buy it at $15, $20 and you're sitting on a big loss? Polkadot's still number 20. Cosmos slipped down. It's number 50. I like what they're doing with the EVM integration coming up soon with IBC. The tech is really good. It's just the problem was they were kind of lagging behind, and the interoperability narrative is just not as sexy anymore because everyone's doing it. It's like that one girl in high school who was like super hot and innocent. Everyone wanted her, and then by the time you come around 3 years later and she's been ran through by 50 dudes, you're like, yeah, I don't know if she's that sexy anymore. It's the same thing. It's like 50 other blockchains are doing the same thing you're doing, Cosmos. And you haven't really, I mean, the tech, like I said, the tech is good. The team's great. They've been around for a while. Nothing wrong with the project. It's just, we're in a stage of crypto where it's not just what we're going to do. Like, this is what we can do. This is what we're going to do, right? Not, we're building this so people can do this. This is here now. And so what are you doing to get those people in there? So we're so bullish on Avalanche. So we're so bullish on Solana. So bullish on Cardano. They build it. Cardano just needs a stable coin, and they need to get some more users and activity in the network. Everything else from a tech standpoint, Cardano is great. And obviously I can name a bunch of other ones. But for me, I look at Cosmos. It's just, I don't know. But if I had to pick the two, I'd get rid of Polkadot. Probably would get rid of both, again, depending on what your overall situation looks like. So I know it's kind of a non-answer, but there you have it. Bring back Gary Gensler. He'll sue a bunch of companies and we'll be back in the green. I doubt we would be back in the green if you started suing a bunch of companies. I don't know. Maybe we would. I don't think we would. But yeah. All right. How you guys this Sunday, by the way? How's you guys' Sunday going? What you guys been up to? Hanging out with family? I'm curious, how many of you in here have kids? If you got kids, put a 1 in the chat if you're comfortable sharing that information. If you have kids. I got 3, as you guys know. Okay. You know what's funny? My after last week's show, so my mother-in-law has a cleaning business, and one of her clients is this like 78, 80-year-old sweet woman, and she watches my show. And I think her name is Arlene. And my mother-in-law, her name is Tammy. And Tammy's like, hey, Arlene like loves you. She loves the channel. She hates Robin a lot. She says he's really annoying. Just kidding. She didn't say that. But Arlene watched the Sunday show. Okay. Last Sunday show. Shared some information about my dad, personal life and stuff. And Tammy's like, Arlene calls me and says, did you watch David's show? And he's like, no. He's like, well, did you know that David's family was born here and he did this and he went here? And she's like, what? And so she went back and watched it, and then she called me and says, that was pretty funny. Okay. So 1, if you have kids, 2, if you don't. Okay. Looks like majority of people in here have kids. Interesting. Worst cycle ever. Maybe. Why do I say maybe? Because if 108 was the top, it would be a pretty underwhelming. I don't know if I call it a shitty cycle, but it would be a pretty underwhelming cycle. But when you zoom out, right? And we don't do this often enough, and sometimes myself included. Where was our low? Our low was November 7th, okay? From our November 7th low, Bitcoin rallied 590% in 800 days. That's pretty damn good, right? Now, it's not what we're used to, so everyone says it's shitty, but it's pretty damn good. Hey, guy, come here. Yeah, you. Look, I run an investment firm, and if you give me 10 grand right now, in about 2.5 years, I can guarantee you that I'll give you back 80 grand, or I'll give you back 65 grand. You in? 6x in 2.5 years is pretty damn good, right? It's just, we are kind of in this, this little box of, we want 100x's. We want Bitcoin to go to 500,000, which we know it eventually will, but we just want it to happen now. Like, we want that instant gratification. So obviously, compared to previous cycles, right? You look at cycle here from 2018 to our high in 2021. That was about a 20x in 1,000 days. So substantially less, but again, get used to it, my friends, because as Bitcoin grows in market cap, the law of diminishing returns, it's not easy to 10x a $5 trillion asset like it is 10xing a $5 billion asset or a $500 billion asset. So get used to the diminishing returns. But yeah, I don't think anyone who's been in the space for a while expected a 6x out of Bitcoin or a 7x out of Bitcoin. I think our targets were a little higher than that. I was expecting maybe like a 12 to 15x, at least a 12x. So double what we got now. But then again, just it is what it is. That's just the information. I'm a geezer, Dave. I live with my niece. She has 5 kids, 16 girl, 5 boys, 14, 11, and 7-year-old twins. It's a lot of kids. Bless her, man. Bless her. Have been here 3 years and have more grays than ever. Yeah, I got a little gray patch right here. My wife, I think it's like right here. My wife keeps giving me crap about it. Ah, man. When do you think the price of Bitcoin will stabilize? Once Trump starts shaking shit up, which may well be never. But once, in all honesty, once the tariff war is over, I think it's up only. I think you'll see a 7-week run or a 7-day run of Bitcoin of multiple 7 to 12% candles, just consecutively. Because you could tell the markets want to go risk on. You could tell they do. There is like $7 trillion sitting in money market funds. The perfect storm would be Jerome Powell cuts interest rates down to like 1.5%, 2%, maybe even 1%. Okay. We bring the short-term interest rates down, but we also bring the long-term interest rates down as well. Now, that's not controlled by the Fed. Either way, we see that happen. Mortgage rates come down. People are able to refi their homes because the price keeps going up. They have extra cash. On the back end, you have the trade war stuff ending. Now you got $7 trillion of money sitting in money market funds that was earning 5.5%, 6%, 4.5% to 6%. Now those money market funds are only paying 2%. And investors are not going to sit there and let their money just keep up with inflation. You want to beat out inflation. You want to beat out, you want to look at risk versus reward. That money starts flowing into risk on assets. The trade war thing is done. Interest rates are low. Retail is in a better spot, and institutions are chomping at the bits to go risk on. And what is the one commodity that is the most similar to gold that's got a hard cap on the supply side? And it's Bitcoin. And so I think that would be, to me, the perfect storm. So I want to talk about stabilizing. I think there could still be a lot of potential turbulence. Again, this all depends on what the man who is sitting at the White House in the Oval Office, what he says, what he does, what he tweets, the decisions he makes. It hinges a lot on that. And obviously, we don't know when that's going to happen. Are you becoming more open to the idea that the bull run is over? No, I'm not. I really am not. For me, I look at multiple things. I look at the landscape from a narrative and from a fundamental standpoint, like what's happening, but I also look at technicals, right? And to me, no technical indicator has flashed that we're in a bear market, okay? Now, if you shorten the time scopes, sure, you can say, okay, the last 2 weeks, but overall, you zoom in. Now, if we go below 71.2, we spend a significant amount of time there, and then we see some of the other indicators of bear market, sure, I'll say, okay, we're in a bear market, but it's going to be hard for me to latch onto the idea that the bear market is going to be 2.5 years. My brain is it thinks in terms of practicality and common sense. You cannot convince me that with a administration that we have for the next 4 years that is the most bullish in crypto, that have literally said they want to make America the crypto capital of the world, you will not convince me that we're going to be in a 2.5 year bear market, even if we are currently in a bear market or we're going into a bear market. I just don't see it happening. I see something similar to what we saw with maybe, I don't know if Amazon's the right one, but what's a good stock to compare to? But I can see something to where we see a little bit of stabilization. The macro picture clears, and then we see really like 3.5 years of just steady growth from Bitcoin. And when Trump leaves office, Bitcoin is at like 600K. I can see that. I really can. So we'll see. But again, no one knows. I don't know if we're in a bear market. I don't know if we're in a bull market, but I'm pretty sure if I were to take an educated guess, we are not in a bear market. We're still in a bull market. It's just the consolidation phases are a lot longer. That's kind of where I'm at. Average 31 here for Bitcoin, but some alts hurt. Yeah, I think the problem is a lot of people are getting destroyed on their altcoin portfolios, myself included. My AI portfolio is down huge. But I'm still ahead. Why? Because I never forget to take profits. I learned that lesson the hard way. Last cycle, this is my first super invested cycle where I had a majority of my money invested in. Pretty scary, but close to the top on Bitcoin. I was buying my DCA buys. That's okay. So after you just learn, you got to take profit. No matter how euphoric you are, it can go to 10 billion, you can go to 100 billion. Take profit at $1 billion, take it at 2, take some at 5, take some at 10, take some all the way up to 100. No one went broke taking profit. Such a great saying. What are the odds a recession comes? I don't know. Maybe 30%, 25%. Like the Fed's numbers is always 25%, 1 in 4 chance. I'm kind of right there. I mean, I don't know. I'm not selling Bitcoin. Guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up, man. Got some stuff I got to do. My Telegram is blowing up from my boy. I think I get my taxes done today, and then I got some stuff to do to get ready for the week. I do a business plan every week where we recap the last week, the numbers, deal flow, expenses, what we're looking to focus on. And so doing that week by week has really helped, I think, myself and the entire company, Rocco, Robin, all of us, to really be on the same page and to move towards the same goal on a week-to-week basis. Update on the studio edition in the back, guys. It's going to be sick as F, bruh. I don't know why I said that. But if you want to stay up to date on that, I recommend you go follow this page. Sin City Podcasts. This is on X. So go follow at Sin City Podcasts. I post updates on the studio. They just put in, or they are putting in, all these sound panels. They're doing the first row on the bottom. They're going to go one more row on top. And this is the other side, and that's the truss there, the truss rig. And so you see that little dual black and red car. It's going to look really, really good. So those of you that are coming out here during the Bitcoin conference in May, we'd love to have you stop by and check out our studio, hang out. And so we're excited, man. We're excited. Also, one more thing I'll ask of you. If you're not in our Discord yet, go join our Discord. Yeah, come chat with us and get access to our VVIP group. It's all of our trading signals. It's a lot of fun in there. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you very much. Have a great Sunday. Don't forget to spend time with family. Take care of yourselves mentally. Come back tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Pacific on YouTube. I love you guys so much. Until then.